Hey guys, my name's Pottymouth. Today we're going to be doing another episode of our modding series, How to Mod. And today we're going to be doing, as you might have guessed by the background, we're going to be doing, well, New Vegas. Now, this video will be broken into two parts. First, I'm going to go through and explain all the mods that I have, what they do, trying out a new format. But I'm going to explain all the mods that I have installed and what they do. And then the second mod, which will be longer, the second video, which will be quite a bit longer, will be me going in depth, installing the mods, showing you exactly how the process works. And there's, we're gonna be doing some mods have to be installed in a certain way and things like that. So we're gonna be going into all that. So it'll be a little bit longer. But this video is just basically to show you what mods we're using and kind of what my thoughts on why we're using those mods are and stuff. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so the mods we're using, there are 88 of them. So I've got them all disabled right now, as you can see. So here's what we're running: Ojo Bueno, which is a texture pack. Just makes various things in the world look nicer. I'm using the high variant instead of the ultra variant, simply because I have a lot of texture mods, and that can use up a lot of memory. I have a really nice computer, but I mean, if it's trying to load 7 gigs of textures at one time, like that can have an issue no matter how good your computer is. So anyway, I'm using the high variant. I have the vending machine update. I also have the less messed up roads. Yeah, the less damaged roads here. I don't know why this is down here and these are up here. I don't know, but anyway. So I have those. I have Adam Reborn, which is a armor mod. I don't remember what Adam stands for. It stands for something. But Adam Reborn is the most modern version of Adam. It is a fantastic mod that redoes a lot of the armors in the game. Makes them look good, which I like. After School Special is one of the best housing mods in the game, in my opinion. Basically, I won't spoil it because we're gonna be playing through it and stuff. But it's a fantastic mod, and I use the Sortomatic version because I like that version better. The Armored Duster and the Black Leather Armored Duster. The Armored Duster is a fantastic mod. That basically, in Fallout, when you hit around like level 17 to 20, you start looking at moving from the light armor that you've been wearing for the whole game into wearing medium armor. And by and large, you're kind of stuck in Fallout New Vegas with combat armor at that point until you're ready to move into heavy armor. And unfortunately, you're pigeonholed essentially into using just combat armor to stay alive, especially if you're playing on a harder difficulty. But the combat armor doesn't really fit the theme of New Vegas. It's very like military and stuff. Whereas New Vegas kind of has this cool like Wild West, Old West cowboy vibe to it. So the Armored Duster, basically what it does is it adds armored dusters to the game, which are medium armor. So it allows you to kind of, especially for roleplay playthroughs, it allows you to look similar to how you did look, but have the same defensive capabilities that you had while wearing your coat and jacket, like you would have had when you were wearing light armor. And the Black Leather Armor Duster mod literally just makes this black. That's all it does. But they're great. This is the Book of Flesh. Is the Amidium Born mod. It makes some people. It changes monsters and living things and ghouls and all kinds of stuff. It makes it look nicer. Requirement basically. Bottle That Water is a mod if you're going to play with hardcore turned on. This is a mod that I highly recommend. what it allows you to do is anytime that you get close to, anytime that you get to a water source, it allows you to crouch and utilize, you crouch and activate that source. It allows you to fill up a bottle of water. If you have an empty bottle on you, it'll allow you to fill that bottle with water. Works really well. Like the Good Spring source, stuff like that will give you clean, purified water, I believe. And then if you just find like a stream or a brook or something, it would allow a creek, I believe is what they call it in America. It allows you to, what's it called? Like bottle that. It'll be dirty water at that point. It's really nice. It's a cool mod for both immersion and surviving in hardcore mode. Brighter PipBoy light, cool mod. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Makes the PipBoy light brighter. Burning Campfire Redone and Burning Campfire Redone 2 Electric Boogaloo. These mods go hand in hand, obviously. Burning Campfire Redone basically makes it so that when you activate a campfire to craft something, it ignites. Burning Campfire Redone 2 Electric Boogaloo basically makes the fire look better from this. It changes the fire texture, and it also fixes, there are a couple places where, for whatever reason, this mod didn't get it, like didn't work. So they fixed it here. But you do have to have this mod for this mod to work. CASM is just a save manager. I believe it's SIPSYS Automatic Save Manager is what CASM stands for. And basically the version with the MCM allows you to go into the MCM, the mod configuration menu, and change how often it saves, what the parameters for saves are, how many saves you make, all that kind of stuff. So really helpful, especially if you're going to be playing for long periods of time. Clarity, I use the Dark Nights version, 50% Darker Nights. It looks better, in my opinion. This gets rid of that weird orange tinge to everything in the game. And obviously it makes the nights a little bit darker. Donified UI. Donified UI is the UI that I like. There's also Vanilla UI Plus is very popular. I don't care for that one as much. I think Donified, well, it's not that I don't care for it. I just think Donified UI looks better. That's just my personal opinion. I've used Vanilla UI Plus. It's fine. If you like the look of the Vanilla UI, it's fine. I just like the Donified UI a little bit better. That's my personal opinion. So these three mods... Oh, excuse me. These three mods work together. So Donified UI is the actual Donified UI. The font dummies you need to override the in-game fonts so that it will use the Donified font. And Donified MCM just makes the mod configuration menu utilize the Donified font as well. Delay DLC. This mod, what it does is essentially it goes through and makes it so you don't get all those pop-up menus when you first launch the game, when you first start a new game, where it's like, oh, you picked up a radio broadcast of this, and the level cap is increased by 5, and all. You don't get those pop-ups anymore. You also won't get the radio signals until you get close enough to where the DLC occurs. So just be aware of that. Dynavision is a mod that makes it so that the game is a bit more cinematic. It adds some autofocus and some other things like that that are really cool. I like it. Easy unlocking, easy hacking, guaranteed pickpocketing. I have the easy hacking module installed just because I hate the hacking minigame. I don't have the easy unlocking or guaranteed pickpocket because those minigames I don't have a problem with. I just really dislike the hacking minigame, so I have that mod. Electro City is a lighting overhaul. One of the many lighting overhauls I have in this load order. Works really well. I believe there's actually a quest here now, which I haven't done. But for this playthrough, I probably will. Eve. This is a mod that essentially makes the effects of like explosions and energy weapons, and I believe it actually changes like neon lights and stuff as well. But yeah, so it changes those effects to make them nicer. I have the movable piles add-on download it as well. Movable piles allows you when you hit someone with an energy weapon and they burst into ash or goo or whatever, it allows you to move that pile because a lot of times those piles will be sat on top of other things like guns that have fallen to the ground or whatever that you can't loot. And if you don't have this mod, you can't move the pile, and then you just lose out on that loot. So, Fallout character overhaul. Basically, this mod just makes the game, the characters in the game look nicer. I mean, it's a very simple mod that does a lot. It makes a lot of the characters look very nice. It's a requirement for me, along with the after school special patch. Basically, this patches the NPCs that are added by the mod after school special, which we talked about earlier, to work with Fallout character well. Cool. Flashlight NVSE. This mod literally adds a flashlight. I believe it adds one to Doc's house, Doc Mitchell, in Good Springs, and then sometimes you'll find them other places. I believe they are added to the loot table, and some of the vendors will have them. So, and actually you can actually craft your flashlight with belts and stuff to be a chest rig and things, and sometimes you'll find those on enemies that you kill, especially when you kill like some of the mercenaries and things like that. Fallout New Vegas realistic wasteland lighting. It's another lighting overhaul. I have, I think, 3 or 4 of them. They all work together fairly easily to make the game look very realistic with the lighting, which I like. Follow a home marker. Basically what this is, allows you to, when you have a home, you can go to that home with your follower, and you can tell, like, it gives you a thing where you can talk to them and say, this is a home now. And then when you go to dismiss them, you can send them to that home instead of sending them to the Lucky 38, which is cool. Especially if you're not going to be staying at the Lucky 38. I got Spurs. This is a mod that Gopher made. I just really like it. It's I mean, it gives you Spurs. You know, if you're going to play a cowboy, you got to have Spurs. Yeah, improved automatic iron sight animations. Just fixes camera recoil for the iron sight animations on automatic weapons, so that you can actually reacquire targets when using the true iron sights mode. So it's nice if you're going to be using automatic weapons at all. I don't know what I'm going to go with on this playthrough that I'm going to start, but just in case, I have the mod. Improved LOD noise texture. So LOD is load over distance, which some of you may have seen LOD before and not known what it means. Now you know what it means. This basically refers to things that are like, it loads one set of textures when it's far away, and then when you get to within a certain distance, it loads the regular texture, just to reduce strain on your system. Every game does it. This is just a mod that makes the LOD noise texture, which is like distant terrain and things like that. Makes it look nicer. Well, it does. Improved ammo ingredients as loot mod. This mod makes it so that you will find ammo ingredients on dead bodies and boxes and all kinds of things. I believe you'll find them in vendors even, which is cool. Interior lighting overhaul. And another lighting overhaul. This one specifically is houses and interior locations. The JIP mods. Companions Command and Control, or JIP CCC as we call it, is a mod that will... It literally, what it does is it's gonna... my brain just died, sorry. It just makes it easier for you to expands your options in controlling your companions, essentially what it does. It makes certain things easier, like it adds a hotkey for telling them to wait, or follow you, or be aggressive, or be passive. So instead of having to like talk to them each time and say, hey, I want you to do this, like you can hit a hotkey on your keyboard and it'll do that for you. Improved recipe menu is the same thing, it just makes the recipe menu more user friendly. And this GipLN NVSE plugin is a requirement for so many mods. It expands what you can do with mods for this game, so that's cool. Johnny Guitar is the same thing. Like these two, one or both of these mods is required by every single other mod that I have. So, Jay Sawyer Ultimate Edition, Josh Sawyer of Jay Sawyer was the director, I believe, for Fallout New Vegas. And there was a lot of things, I guess, that they wanted to do in Fallout New Vegas that they weren't able to do because of time constraints and things. And so the game didn't come out the way that they had envisioned it. And this is a mod that changes it to be the way that he had envisioned it. Adds back a lot of things that were cut content that just, unfortunately they didn't have time to get to, or whatever the case may be. But it makes the game a far more lived-in feeling world, which is what I like. I like the immersion mods; those are my favorites. MCM bug fix. You don't need this mod. What it does is if you change the UI if you change the color of your UI, the mod configuration menu will still be orange. And if that bothers you, you can download MCM bug fix 2, and it will fix that bug so that the mod configuration menu is the same color as the rest of it. Missing ammo recipes. This mod, what it does is it basically, if you take the perks that allow you to craft more ammunition types, there are still ammunition types that you can't craft, and it doesn't really make sense that you can craft crazy, like 5.56 ammo. You can craft like crazy, but you can't craft the regular 5.56 AP. So this just adds all these ammo recipes. There's no 22 long rifle crafting at all, things like that. So this adds those recipes into the game, allows you to craft them. The more perks mods do exactly what it says on the tin. They just add more perks. So this adds companion perks, this adds regular perks, and this adds traits for when you start your character. New Vegas bounties. These mods are essential, in my opinion, for this game. I won't even play New Vegas if I don't have New Vegas bounties installed. These mods are incredible. Also, the Jay Sawyer mod that we talked about. For those of you who are a little bit more familiar with modding may know about New Vegas bounties, they include some pretty overpowered weapons. The Jay Sawyer mod nerfs these weapons a little bit so that they're not so ridiculously overpowered, but they are still like valuable and worth getting, which is cool. New Vegas script extender, obviously you're gonna need that. It's the what makes modding possible for the game. New Vegas stutter remover. This mod just gets rid of that annoying micro stutter as you look around. So it's pretty good. NMCs. So I have the medium pack. Like I said earlier, I use whatever the middle pack is for everything, just because of how many mods I'm running. It reduces the strain on my system. I could definitely run, if I was running less mods, I could definitely run the Ultra with no problem. I have a 2070 and a 5950X. Like, I could run the Ultra, wouldn't be a problem. But the medium doesn't look bad. The difference between the medium and the Ultra high, I think it's high is actually what it's called. But the difference between those two packs is not super great. I'm not playing in 4K. I'm playing in 1440p. And the medium looks fine. And I know for a fact that I will not stall anywhere with this, so that's what I run. I also have the patch, which basically just fixes a couple things he missed in when he was making the original mod, and then here's a couple of other things that he missed when he was making the patch. So there's the naval chair fix and the water tower clock county fix, which, yeah, you can go read on the mod page exactly what each of those fixes, but it's worth just having all 5. The no peep sight mod makes it so that the cowboy repeater doesn't have that really ridiculous peep sight that you can't see anything else on your screen when you're ADSing. This is another one of the Amidian-born mods. Book of Steel changes, in general, a lot of things that are made out of metal and just makes them nicer models, nicer textures. InVac, the New Vegas anti-crash mod, does exactly what it says in the 10. It's a anti-crash. Helps significantly reduce the amount of crashes you're going to get. You may still get crashes here and there. That's just part of modding. Then, to be honest, it's just part of Bethesda games. But this helps drastically reduce the amount of crashes you're going to get. We're using the official PipBoy Radius mod. I've not used the Radius PipBoy. I usually use the A Familiar Friend mod to not have a wrist-mounted PipBoy. I usually use the Familiar Friend mod, but I was told that this is a very nice mod, and I wanted to try something different. So we're gonna. I've looked at some of the pictures of it, so it looks really nice. So we'll check it out. The Ojo Bueno. This is the Less Damaged Roads mod we talked about earlier from Ojo Bueno. One HUD and the TTW Donified patch for one HUD. Basically these. This is a mod by Gopher, I believe, and it basically what it does is it consolidates and it allows like your HUD to be. Basically it turns off the HUD. It's the iHUD mod from Skyrim, and then it has like an essential needs HUD. Like he has 3 HUD mods that he's rolled into one, thus one HUD. I really like his HUD mods, so I'm using it. One tweak allows you to Alt Tab. It also fixes double cursor fix, and if you're using your mouse wheel in the game, it will stop scrolling stuff on your second monitor. One tweak fixes that, so that's nice. Portable campsite. Has vendors sell portable bedrolls and portable fireplaces that you can use to lay in the field for when you're role playing and you can't make it back to town and you need to sleep. You can drop them down, cook something to eat, have a bit of a nap, and then when you wake up in the morning, you just crouch and activate the items and it'll pick them up and put them back into your inventory. Project Nevada, I've not used before, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. Normally I used like Fook and A World of Pain and things like that. This time we're going to go with Project Nevada. It has some cybernetic stuff, like it adds like cybernetics to the game. I'm pretty excited about checking that out. So that is that. It's a full overhaul, by the way. Like Project Nevada touches everything in the game basically. I'm pretty excited to see how that works out. Quicker PipBoy lighting. Basically, this just makes it so that when you hit the button to turn on the PipBoy light, it turns on in 0.2 seconds instead of the standard 1 full second. Ranger helmet neck cover. It just makes it so when you have the Ranger helmet on, you don't see your neck. It covers your neck the way that it really would. Russell is another one of the Some Guy series. Some Guy 2000 is one of his mods. So it's Russell, the Inheritance, and then the 3 New Vegas Bounties mods. When I do the installation video, I will go into a lot more detail about this. And because there's a certain order you're supposed to do them in and stuff. You can do them in any order, but it makes more sense to do them in a certain order. So, Sortomatic and the Ingredient Loader. These are resources that some of the mods require, so that's why those are there. Stewie Tweaks. This is just an NE for Stewie Tweaks. Stewie Tweaks is a mod that changes so many things. It just changes so many things, and the INI is a file that allows you to actually change which tweaks are on and off, so you can actually go through it, and that is a long list. I mean, if you're reading each of them, you could be sitting there for you could be sitting there for literally 20 minutes just reading tweaks that it can possibly make and deciding whether you want things on and off. It's impressive the amount of things that this covers. The Courier's Cache is a mod that adds some cool armors, little quest line and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's a cool little mod. We talked about the Inheritance already. Living Desert. This mod actually makes it so that there are like travelers and things like that move between the cities. So you'll see patrols like NCR patrols, you'll see Legion patrols. You'll see patrols from some of the other factions and things. If 2 factions are at war, like say the NCR and the Legion, when their patrols run into each other, they will fight. You'll see traders. You'll actually see like Crimson Car. One of the coolest things for me was it actually makes the Crimson Caravan send caravans from place to place. So you'll actually see caravans that will go from like Nipton to Novak to um what is it called, the where the rangers are stationed. Anyway, like you'll actually see them moving around. You can stop and talk to them and stuff. Um, and it's cool. It just makes the world feel more lived in. It's definitely an immersion mod. Mod configuration menu. This mod is pretty standard. It allows you to configure mods in the game. So before, what you had to do before there was a mod configuration menu, what you had to do is if you wanted to change something in the mod, you would have to save the game, exit, find the appropriate INI file for the mod that you wanted to change the value of whatever it was you wanted to change, save that, load the game, test it, see if you had done it right, and then if you needed to alter it more or alter it less, you would then have to exit the game, go back to the INI. It was very, very tedious. The mod configuration menu allows you to make those changes on the fly. It's super good mod. You can do it right from within the game. You don't have to exit. You don't have to do anything. You can check it, run around for 5 seconds, say, nope, I need to fix it less, change it less, whatever you need to do. Works really well. Weapon mod menu, super great mod. There's another one. It changes the user interface for weapon mods. Just makes them a little bit neater, cleaner. It makes it a little bit more user-friendly. UIO, user interface organizer, makes all of the other user interface mods work together with as little issues as possible. It is so good. So nice. Vortex, archive and validation. It's just archive and validation through Vortex. That's all it is. It's not a mod you download. It's just part of Vortex. Wasteland clothing fixes a lot of the clothing that you find. It doesn't fix it. What it does is it upgrades the textures to more modern textures, so they look nicer, higher quality, essentially. And this powder gang fix on the mod, actually, what it does, there was an issue with the base where I believe he had named a file incorrectly by like one thing or something. And so the powder gang armor, some of the powder gang armors would have this black no texture thing on them, and this just fixes that. Wasteland flora and terrain overhaul. It's just a texture overhaul for grass and trees and shrubs and plants of various kinds. I believe it actually makes a couple of terrain edits as well. Weapon animations replacer changes how you and NPCs hold firearms. It has a foam mod. It's super nice. Weaponry texture project. These take the vanilla guns and make them look nicer, make the iron sights work better. Weapons of the New Millennia and Imtindle. This is just a bunch of like a bunch of weapons, modern weapons and stuff that have been added. They work really well. There's integrated level listing and they're integrated into the leveled lists and stuff. It's pretty cool. You'll see bandits and raiders and people using the guns from this pack, which is pretty cool. And finally, Yukichi Gai. Yup is essentially it's the unofficial patch. It is like the bug fix mecca. This mod is required for pretty much any playthrough of the game. Even if you're like, I'm gonna play not modded, you should probably have Yukichi Gai's unofficial patch installed. So those are the mods we're using. This video is already 20 minutes long, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. There'll be another video that'll be coming out in a day or two, showing how I installed everything. Be sure to check me out on Twitch 7 days a week. And I will see you guys then.